I want to create a lifestyle that feeds me spiritually and emotionally. It's time for me to make change. I mean, who doesn't want that? And this is such a great and beautiful desire when that happens. You know, when you start to feel that, okay, you know what? I want that change. I want something different. I want to start my season of different, and it's going to be so soul touched, so to say, and so soul led. I want to give more spaciousness to my creativity. Maybe I want to give a little bit into some hobbies, or there's something within my lifestyle that I really want to evolve. So this is not only a video, but also a series, which I'm starting now. You know that I love series, right? And we are beginning our season of different. This is the season where we will talk about creating small changes in your day to day, in the ordinary, in order for you to like create extreme change. Okay, small changes compounds. When I stopped with makeup, not wearing makeup any longer, reduced a lot of kind of chemicals in my home, chemicals what I put on my body, I did it step by step. I had a small little change that I felt that I want to have space in the mornings for me doing yoga, so I decided I'm gonna exchange like that to makeup. Okay, so that's the thing that I did. I've talked about that before. I had no idea that that would be the catalyst really pulling me towards taking the next right choice, the next right choice, and the next right choice into reducing more and more chemicals in my life. And with that, reducing the level of anger and the level of irritation that I had. I noticed that there were a lot of like cleaning products. There were a lot of, makeup that I put on myself, different hair products that actually made me irritated and made me angry, feel angry. Okay, so I had no idea when I just took that little change, tweaked that, made that change. I had no idea. I had no idea when I was picking up like cards of deck the first time that that would be the catalyst for my personal development, totally like something totally different than ever before, turning into this depth of my spirituality, starting really on my self-help journey for real this time, and making so many changes in my life. And after that, also reading for hundreds of people, helping them to change their lives too, helping them to enter their next chapters. I had no idea when I just got that dream, picking up a deck of cards. I brought them the next day. I started to ask myself a couple of questions. Like, that was it. That was it. I made a small little change in my day to day that ended up being something totally different. It compounded over time. Let's say another example. When I decided that, no, you know what, I'm done having these conversations in my head, looping conversations in my head when I had conversations with others or when I was preparing to meet someone. When I said that, okay, you know what, I don't want to waste this space actually that I have with myself of looping conversations over and over, I want to stop doing that. That thought, that choice, that decision of making that change and consistently over and over reminding myself of, no, I'm not doing this any longer. No, I'm not listening to this any longer. No, I'm not going to loop these conversations. That was actually what reduced my social anxiety with like 80%. That was not the aim, that was not the expectation. You see, once again, it's so much bigger than just what you expect it is in the beginning. And that's why it's so important that we really pay attention to these small little changes that we can do in our everyday life. Those of you who know me know also that I used to think, act, be, have a certain energy, spend time with people, spend time with myself, being intimate with myself in very different way that I do today. I was constantly overwhelmed, stressed out. I felt so distracted. I felt that I wasn't like going anywhere in my life. I felt that I like didn't have friends that I felt at home with or safe with, or everything was just what I used to say, a mess. And I changed a lot in my life. I made that a difference. And that's because one day it was kind of me being done, me saying that, you know what, I'm going to do everything different from now onwards. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can in my life different. I'm going to go through the habits I have, the routines I have, how I decide to wake up in the morning, how I decide to go to bed in the night. I want to make the change on all levels of life. How's my mood? Why is my mood like that? Can I change something within my diet? Is there another type of conversation that I want to have with people? Do I want to look for other guys when I'm dating them? Like everything. How am I performing at work, or what do I pay attention to at work? Every single thing I really dig deep, and I made as many changes as possible. And this is so cool because your mind is definitely trained, so to say, or it functions that way, that it wants to find patterns. So once you decide to make a change, and then you decide to make a new change and a new change, that also amplifies. So your mind will start to look for, okay, wow, we want different now. Let's see what else is different. What can we do? What else can we do about this, right? So it starts to serve you. You don't need to put in so much more effort any longer, so to say. It will just start to serve you. And this is so beautiful when it comes to our mind. I think our mind is one of our greatest tools, actually, together with our intuition. It's just that we need to understand how we're going to use that mind. Those of you who crave deep activation, those of you who crave like not just maintenance, you crave something bigger, something more, something rapid, something extreme, but you want to do it in small ways. Maybe you're tired, maybe you feel that, I've done so many changes now and I don't really feel that that of a significant change is happening any longer. All of that, we're going to address it throughout this series, and we're going to look into all the different ways that you can really make a change here in this life. So if you're ready for like new inspiration, a season of change, making things different in your life, then this series is definitely there for you. And I would like you to start with to really think through, what can I make different in my life today? And I want you to go a little bit deeper than just like answering the question. So when you answer the question, then you will ask yourself, then what? And then what? And then what? And then what? Ask yourself a couple of times, like 6 times or something, then what? Because I just don't want you to get like the first impulse. Sometimes we can really like get the first impulse and that's the thing that we want to do. But sometimes when we crave this change, we have also been asking ourselves that question already. So we need to uncover the layers, so to say. So I want you to really ask yourself that, and then you're asking yourself, and then what? So if I make this change, and then what? What can I change then? And then what? What can I change then? And this is also helping you to actually get to the chase directly, get to the end point directly, right? You're quantum leaping in that way, because you're not just deciding for, okay, this is the linear time, I will make this change that feels closest to me or feels the most comfortable to me. You will make a big stretch, and then you will decide for like, when I'm gone through all these different versions of me that have made these and these and these changes, then I will do this change. So go ahead and do that. Share with me what your takeaways of today is and what you are planning to make for a difference in your life. I would love to hear that, and talk to you in the next part of this series. Keep on listening to you within Talks. Bye.